Good afternoon. Thanks so much for joining us. It's time to talk real estate with Laura Bramnick from talkrealestateaz.com. That's talkrealestateaz.com. And Laura is an attorney specializing in real estate, also a real estate agent, more important, a consumer advocate. You look out for your clients.
Yes, I do.
That's the most important thing.
Yes, people need assistance and they need to know where the pitfalls are.
And of course, real estate is such a big, important purchase for almost everybody.
No, that's true, and there's a lot of questions that come up. A lot of terminology that people aren't familiar with, and so it's usually worth it to consult with somebody like me.
Absolutely. 480-624-2705, that's Laura's phone. And she answers her own phone. 480-624-2705. If you have a question, better to ask the question than get bitten by the question later on.
Yes, I do see a lot of that. And a lot of people have bought and sold several homes, so they're pretty comfortable. And then something comes up that they haven't dealt with before, and it's usually after the fact.
Right.
So, and we're one of the states that it's much more common not to use a lawyer in a real estate transaction, especially residential.
Right.
So,
but it's always, I think it's smart to do it. Because if something comes up, you handle it ahead of time, rather than dealing with the consequences later. That's the more expensive way to deal with it later.
It's really important to understand the contract.
Let's talk about the Phoenix market for real estate in Arizona. Phoenix has come back from, we were one of the hardest hit in the downturn. We haven't come back all the way, but we're coming back.
We're doing very well, and because of the kind of bust that we had, we really don't want to come back too quickly.
Right.
Because it's just going to create another bubble, and we don't want to do that again, because we're just flushing out most of the foreclosures. The short sales are diminishing. People are
You're really not seeing much in the way of foreclosures anymore, are you?
No, there are some. There's always some. But in the whole scheme of things, we're way down in that kind of thing.
The foreclosures and distress sales not enough to move market prices at this time necessarily?
Correct. Prices are going up at a healthy pace. Our jobs are going up at a healthy pace.
That's really the key to a healthy real estate market. You've got to have people who have jobs.
Yeah, the jobs that we're adding are in healthcare, retail, and finance. They're the biggest ones.
Usually the highest paying jobs.
No, that's also another reason that our rental market is strong. I don't know about you, but every corner I turn on these days, there's another apartment complex coming up. I cannot believe the number of apartment complexes, for two reasons. One is that the jobs that we're adding tend to be lower paying jobs. A lot of those people cannot afford to buy homes. And two, as we've talked about before, the millennials are a little more transient than my generation.
And then another point, I think a lot of people who were hit by the downturn have been renting.
Yes, and they're either too scared to buy again because they really felt like they got burned and didn't see it coming.
Right. And
number two, or else they're waiting out their time when they can qualify again for a mortgage. And even a lot of those people, they have spent their time, but it's much harder to qualify now.
Right.
That the mortgage guidelines are very, very strict, and it takes longer, and there's a lot more documentation. And a lot of people are being told, pay down more debt. They don't allow as high of debt to income ratios. It used to be if you had a good credit score, you were pretty much good to go. When you had a job. Right. It's not that way anymore. So, we have a lot of apartments and a lot of new building going on. And there's anticipated that in the next 3 years we're going to add 60,000 units of each, apartments and single-family homes.
That's really a lot of apartments.
That's a lot of apartments. So that
I
That
think
means
there's been a
people are
shortfall.
moving here.
Yeah, I think there's also been a shortfall of residential build-out.
Yes.
Single-family homes.
Yes. And so it's really a good time for investors because buying single-family homes or condos, the rental market is very, very strong and rents are going up. They have gone up every year for the past few years. And you know, it's all a matter of supply and demand. And there's even a new trend where people who own single-family homes as investment properties are splitting them into multiple rentals.
Oh,
like
really?
like a single-family home becoming a duplex.
Ah,
Now you have to be aware of zoning rules,
Sure.
and you know we have a lot of HOAs in Arizona, so you want to make sure that the best rental properties are not in HOAs because you have more flexibility about renting to unrelated people and how many people you can have in the property, those kinds of things.
and if you are thinking about turning a single-family home into a rental, whether you're thinking about splitting the property or whatever,
Right.
you need to really understand what's going on. I think it's always a good idea to talk with Laura about that. Make sure you have your structure set up properly, make sure you have your leases
Right.
reviewed, and you really understand what your responsibilities are as a landlord. That's very important. For that matter, if you're thinking about getting back into the market, maybe you were one of those people who had some difficulties in the downturn, you can help with that as well.
Yeah. The other thing is that many HOAs only allow a limited percentage of rentals.
Right.
Or you can only rent for a minimum period of time. And so you want to be aware of what those rules are. But it is a good time to invest in our market if you're an investor, and not just single family. Commercial's doing fairly well. Land is still pretty flat, I would say, but we've talked about the lack of new infrastructure, so land is definitely going to do better.
State of Arizona, Phoenix always leads the state. Is that true in real estate as well?
Yeah, the strongest markets right now are Phoenix and Prescott. The slower markets are Tucson and Yuma. Flagstaff is more cyclical because of the tourism issues, although their prices on terms of sales are increasing at about the same pace as Phoenix, and it's anticipated that we're about 5.5% a year right now. It's anticipated that Phoenix and Flagstaff will increase at a faster pace than that over the next 3 years.
Wow.
6, 7, 8% even. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Looks like a good place to be. If you have questions, and whether it be land, commercial, or residential, whether you're thinking about an investment property, Laura can help with that process. She can help you buy or sell real estate. You are an agent.
Yes.
You can help people with their listings, and the added bonus is that you're an attorney who specializes in real estate. Why not get that extra knowledge on your side?
Yes, not only the purchase, but the leases, the LLC. I can really give you a nice little package.
We always talk about getting in touch with you when there's a problem with real estate. Well, here's a good way to do it without getting into problems.
Exactly.
Laura Bramnick, Talk Real Estate Arizona, TalkRealEstateAZ.com.
That's correct.
TalkRealEstateAZ.com, 480-624-2705. 480-624-2705. Thank you, Laura.
Thanks, Sinclair.